Do you ever wonder about products in our everyday life? I had to buy some flypaper for Valhalla because the flies around here were horrible, and it was tough to find a cheap, non-toxic solution. Turns out flypaper was that solution, and I kind of wondered, what's the story on flypaper? So I went down one of those proverbial rabbit holes. I investigated flypaper, and it turns out a couple brothers patented this not far from here. 30 miles, in fact. We're heading to Grand Rapids, Michigan to investigate the Tanglefoot building. I'm Chuck, the channel's Restless Viking. Let's go see where flypaper got its start. The year is 1885. Grover Cleveland is president. The Statue of Liberty is delivered to New York Harbor. Dr. Pepper was first served in Texas. And flies were a problem. In the city, things were dirty. The streets were muddy, and since the major form of transportation was the horse-drawn buggy and cart, there was a lot of manure in the streets. And if you've ever been to Mackinac Island, you kind of know what that smells like. And it creates a lot of flies. Houses didn't have screens, and flies were bouncing off the window, buzzing around. They were pretty annoying. And there wasn't really an easy solution. We're taking the scenic route to get to the Tanglefoot building, going through downtown Grand Rapids, gonna cross the river. It's kind of a cool little city. Now, flypaper existed back then, but you had to visit a drugstore and you had to wait as they slathered a sticky substance on paper, and usually it was molasses. A Grand Rapids druggist had assigned the task of slathering this sticky substance on paper to his 4 sons: Otto, Hugh, William, and Ferdinand. Now, we don't know if it was out of curiosity and frustration, and we don't know which brother came up with it. But they experimented in the back room of that drugstore and came up with a solution. Now the brothers didn't have to make the flypaper every time somebody ordered one, and the paper was much stronger and it didn't soak through. And they can make large batches at a time if you can just keep it in stock. So it was a big improvement, and it meant that they could distribute the product worldwide. Well, the O&W Thumb Company was born, and they set about a marketing campaign that should be the envy of any respectable marketing firm. In fact, that marketing campaign was credited with the long survival of the Tanglefoot Company. Tanglefoot, the only part of over an hour's worth of footage, and the GoPro messes up there. And the name Tanglefoot by itself is kind of ingenious for flypaper. In fact, in 1916, the outfield wall of Ebbets Field was adorned with a marketing slogan that said, in 1915, Wheat, Brooklyn caught 345 flies. Tanglefoot caught 50 billion flies. Eventually, the Tanglefoot Company moved here on Strait Avenue in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the Tanglefoot Company became one of Grand Rapids, Michigan's first exporters, with warehouses in Italy, Germany, England, and Russia. They became the largest manufacturer of the sticky flypaper in the world. And the company became an important part of a city who mostly made furniture. But as the automobile took over for the car and houses got screens, the demand for flypaper declined. And during World War II, the Tanglefoot Company couldn't get the castor oil or resins they needed to make their product. The brothers retired to California. The company was bought, but they diversified into other products like tree tanglefoot. In 2009, Tanglefoot and this building was acquired by a British Columbian company called contact. And it looked like they were going to begin a new era in the company's history, because they were still manufacturing the product here in 2014 somewhere in the building. But then in 2014, Contact filed for bankruptcy, and by 2016 it was insolvent. Today, the only evidence I can find of Tanglefoot is as a brand for the Scott's company. Whether they still manufacture pest control products here, I don't know. But more awesomely, the building houses a community of artists, and you can stop by and visit them, I think, a few days a week, at least according to Google. It's a common story. A company starts up, and through innovation and business savvy, it's a textbook business model. Then the owners retire, it's bought out, and then it fades into obscurity. And that'll make some people sad and some people mad. This company that contributed a lot to the city of Grand Rapids is just a shadow of its former self. But that's how history works. It marches on, and we evolve. I'm Chuck, the channel's Restless Viking, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Thanks for joining us.